Christopher Saunders, and I'll be previewing for the Connecticut High School football in the NVL. The Woodland Hawks. Joe Lato is with me, entering his fifth year with the program. Coach, I appreciate you coming on.
Hey, Chris, thanks for having me.
This is going to be a lot of fun, Coach. Obviously, I've been a part of being able to see your program over the last couple of years, since you joined the NVL. And, you think about high school football, it's cyclical, right? You go 5-5, then you go 9-3, 5-5, 8-4. Like many programs, not so much 5-5 being a down thing, but again, it's, trying to get through the ups and flows and such. How's it been as far as dealing with that?
I haven't really given it that much thought. I mean, as I was telling you before we got on the podcast, that our kids are really consistent about the process. And you know, the years we went 5-5, or the years we went to the playoffs, they worked just as hard every single year. So,
Mhm.
um, you know, winning and losing is part of the deal. Some years you win more than others for us, and but the kids are really consistent at Woodland. Like I told you before, no, we have kids coming from Prospect, and Prospect's not, it's not a neighboring town to Beacon Falls, and they still show up at, we're doing summer training at 6 a.m. and they're there on time, and we have great numbers, and everybody's accounted for. They do a great job communicating. They're very responsible. Just really good, hardworking kids, really supportive families here.
Mhm. When you joined Woodland, right? Because before Coach Maffa was there and his first year, I think, or something like that, they had one win, and then it was like back-to-back years of making the playoffs 9-2. So when you took over the program, it was after COVID. But like a lot of the programs, there were some number situations and just trying to get reacclimated. How was that for you being a new coach in not just the NVL, but at Woodland for the first year? And then you know what? It's after COVID too. How did you deal with all that?
Well, talking to Chris Decker a lot, who's the athletic director at the time, was like, "Are you sure we're gonna have a team? Like, if I come, are you sure we're gonna have a team?" So it was a little bit of playing rallying the troops a bit. My first team meeting with the kids, there was like 23 kids in a weight room, and then there was like two kids on a Zoom call. I felt like I was talking to like one of my smaller PE classes in Monroe. But then gradually the kids came back, and by the end of the season, I think we're in the mid 50s. But there was a little period of like, oh boy, I hope we have a team. But we got it back together, and then
Hmm.
obviously coaching my sons along the way was just an amazing experience. So, but yeah, coming out of COVID, there's a little bit of a fear factor there. Will we have a team or not? But we got it going.
And I'm glad you mentioned the Monroe Park because I forgot to also say that you coached at Massac, who just won a title last year. So I'm sure you were happy for them. And the program itself is a well-oiled machine. Obviously, what you did there, you had a lot of success. What was the difference? Because I always like to ask coaches that come from one conference to the Valley, right? What was I don't want to say biggest thing for you, but what kind of made you go, oh, okay, this is a little different than where I was before? Was it the play
Right.
style? Was it maybe the players to a certain degree? What was it?
The play style is a little bit different. I think there's a little bit more variety in SWC. You got some triple option and spread, some power run game.
Yeah.
Um, but you know what I love about the NVL though? I love there is this feeling of like a connection with all the other teams in the league, and there's like a brotherhood. Like, we go hard against each other, but we're all from the valley. We all respect each other. There's a lot of camaraderie between teams, and I think that's pretty cool. And the proximity of the games are really close for the most part, so
Yeah.
I think that helps. That helps with that sportsmanship, that pride in the valley kind of deal. So that's I really enjoy that piece of the NVL of the valley, and it's not like there's rivalries, but everybody's just like on the same page though. We're not out to
Hmm.
kill each other, and we're just there to we compete, but we all respect each other.
I almost feel like too, coach, just because I hear from other sides of the state when it comes to media and such that the Valley kind of gets poo-pooed on because it's mainly a small school conference. Like you have Naugatuck, you have the Crosbys, the Kennedys. Crosby's trying to find a way to get to the playoffs for the first time in a long time. Kennedy made it for the first time ever, which I was thrilled for Coach Sarlo at Kennedy. That was awesome for the program. They had a great experience with that. Obviously, Naugatuck has done well and made the playoffs with Coach Anderson even before him. But mainly, it's a small S, double S, occasionally M with Holy Cross, depending on where they are. So I feel like a lot of you coaches, in a lot of ways, not to say that you guys already have a chip on your shoulder, because you probably do just because of how you guys are motivated and such. But you also have the chip of like, hey, we got to get our respect because the kids need the respect. And we also want to get respect for our programs, even though we're a small school. Does that make sense?
It does. I mean, I don't really look at it that way. I'm just focused on Woodland and the teams we play against. So I just look at it as
Mhm.
what where we're at right now, though. I try to find a more competitive class than Class S, and a lot of great programs in Class S, and
Mhm.
so I I personally love the NVL. I love the Valley, and I, I get how sometimes people will take shots, but they don't know that they don't know sometimes, and you got to experience it. And I think it's a great league,
Mhm.
and let them talk. But as far as what we have to part, as far as what we have to compete in Class S, whew, that's a tough class. So uh, I don't think anybody disrespects Class S.
Especially when you got the Bloomfields of the world, you got the Ansonias that are never going away. Stonington had a great year. I saw Griswold for the first time in like however long it was. They had a great year. And then you
Yep.
had Oxford 2 years ago. So it's like always those teams. You never know. You never know,
Yep.
coach.
Yep.
So I want to ask you too, because being able to broadcast and see Woodland, right, and seeing the growth is something I love when it comes to high school sports. So a lot of times it takes a season or two to see the change from one year to the other, because high school kids, they evolve different ways, right? And the one thing I've noticed with your teams are whatever mistakes were made. So let's say, not to say mistakes. So first year 5-5, right? Next year with the wins, you improve. But it wasn't just the improvement of the wins, but it's the mistakes that you didn't make from the 5-5 year that you improved on the next year. Then you had graduation, same thing, an adjustment. And then last year, you guys make it to the semis. Do you notice that too, that your teams, whatever mistakes they're making the previous year, are corrected and the kids are learning, they're responding?
Yeah, I mean, we're always growing. Kids are always growing. Coaches are always growing. It's a
Mhm.
process. So yeah, obviously there's things we took from last year we're gonna work on, and there's some things that we did well we're gonna build upon, and I think that's just coaching. I think everybody does that. So yeah, we find out what our strengths were, we build upon that, and whatever our weaknesses were, we're definitely gonna address those as well. But I definitely see I get better. So if I get better at coaching, the team will get better. So I do see that too.
You talk about how you said you got better, coach. What would you say you've improved the most on from your first year at Woodland and then now entering year five?
I think the one thing that I'm always chasing is the perfect practice and how you can maximize your time out there,
Mhm.
and what can you modify, what can you take away, how can you structure your work week, so that like that stuff is just like consumes me. I'm always playing with that in my head.
Mhm.
Like even this summer, I found something that I love that I introduced to a practice that I didn't do the year before. So stuff like that, like the practice routine is like that's always I'm always like, how can I grab an inch here or there just to make it better for the kids and for myself to get better as a coach?
You talk about the mental side because I was listening to a podcast earlier today. It was actually the Boomer and Geo show on the Fan, and they played the Arizona State clip of the head coach, who I guess he had a crappy practice yesterday, and he was talking about how was telling his kids, we could go 3-9 or whatever. Like we just didn't practice well. And it's not that we didn't practice; it's the fact that there's a difference between practice and there's a championship mentality, like having the mindset, right? You can come to practice, go through the routine and then you play like crap, or you go with the intent of I want to get better and the focus and all that jazz. Is that something that you go into your practices as far as having that maybe not championship mindset, but hey, let's get 1% better today? Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, we spoke about it this morning. So kind of
Good.
like just, I try to be as honest with the kids. I'm like, how do we develop that mindset where it's like every rep you could do any kind of drill. If you could find a way just to do it like even better the next time. Like how do you develop that? It was and Adam Sotero was the one I was talking to in front of the whole team. And he's like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know either. Like, just do it. Like, I don't. But it's chasing that. Like, how do you get the kids and
Mhm.
even coaches like every rep, every moment of a practice? Can you just make that just absolutely perfect? And if you don't get it perfect, can you try to get it perfect the next time? It's that because it's very easy to get into survival mode and just do a drill to do a drill, and then you're really not getting too much value out of it.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. It's one thing to beat a dead horse. Like you could practice something 50 times, but if it's at like 7%, 10%, you're not getting better. But if you cut it in half, you're saving yourself time and also your body too.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I would love to figure out how to do like a one rep practice, but I don't know how you could evaluate that. Just like where everybody just gets one rep and then you move on to the next rep and to see how quickly you could get the practice over. So I don't know if that's realistic. I don't know if I could live with myself if I ever ended practice early, but
Well, I
I,
can tell
I've
you,
thought about it. I have thought about it.
hey, but if they did a one rep and just judge off that, Trey Lance would look like a Hall of Famer yesterday in the Hall of Fame game.
Oh, no kidding.
But
Who's
he's
who's
far from that. He's the
who's that?
quarterback for the Chargers.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
watch pro sports. People don't
Wow.
believe that. I don't even know. What is Phil Simms not a quarterback anymore? He was the last quarterback I kind of know.
So wait, so you don't watch the pros, really?
No, no, not at all.
Do you watch
No.
college or no?
If I do, I usually fall asleep. So if I lay down, I'm gonna pass out. So no, I really don't have a team. I don't. I used to be a Giants fan, but now I don't really watch any sports.
Well, smart on that for not watching the Giants because they stink. But
Yeah.
but that's surprising, coach, that you don't. And again, I'm sure other coaches are like that, but a lot of coaches I talk to follow the college and that pro game to pick things or just to watch the game. But it doesn't attract to you at all. You don't want to watch that. Interesting.
Well, it does, but then I just usually just pass out. What happens is we play on Friday night. And then, Saturday morning we put to bed, the game before.
Yeah.
Then you got JV, and then you start, the mad dash getting ready for the next opponent. But I usually come up fair and I have a good lunch, and I pass right out. So like, oh, George is playing. Oh, that's nice. I'm out. Like then I wake up and repeat the process again. So, like I can't follow it.
You know what?
My, go
You're a
ahead.
Woodland fan. That's what you are. You're a Woodland
That's
Hawks.
it, man. That's it. I'm only a Woodland
Oh.
fan. That's the only football I really care about. Yeah.
So I got to ask you, coach,
Yeah.
because of what you guys did last year, right? I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong here, and just talking with people around Connecticut, there's a lot of attention on you guys and Sonia Naugatuck, the typical three, right, for the most part. But with what you guys did last year, would you say you guys are more of the hunters or the hunted? What would you say?
Hmm. I really don't ever think of it that way. I just think of it like let's get
Mhm.
great at our process. We got a very tough schedule, and it's just about what can we do to play the greatest game.
Mhm.
Week one. I hope there's a level of hunger though for our guys to get back on the field and get the season going. Uh, so whatever that is, I hope we're hungry. Does that mean you're a hunter? I think yeah, that means you're a hunter. Yeah, so hopefully we're the hunters now instead of being hunted. Or what do we want? Do we want to be hunted or hunter? Whatever. I just know we're hungry.
Well,
Hope.
if you're the hunter, it means you're hungry. If you're hunted, it means that people are coming after you.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. I just know I'm hungry. I'm hungry right now. I'm in the middle of a fast, but
Oh, really?
oh, Chris, man, I got to lose a few lbs before the season starts. So,
You want this water? I don't know if you can see it. I got a
oh
big
yeah, no,
water.
oh nice. Yeah, I got to drink more water. The problem with water, it doesn't taste as good as like soda and other stuff. No, but yeah, I've been cutting out the sugar, so I got to get down probably 10 more pounds just so I could have
You
you
could do
know
it.
clearer this fall.
You'll be fine. Trust me. You could do it. It's all about the focus, you know?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
I know Boehner's killing it in the gym. I know he's trying to slim down too. So maybe, talk to him a little bit.
Oh, he looks good, man. Yeah, he has it down pat.
So, you mentioned too, You mentioned about the players, and obviously you know because you had some young men who have now graduated. Your sons, they're going off to do great things, and good for them. They were great kids when they were at Woodland, right? So, as you know, there's a thing called a cell phone, and what's on the
Yeah,
cell phone? It's called social media, and then
right.
you read it, you scroll, you see it. I call it the feel me media, right? Because you want to kind of see it and get your feels up. So, how are you able to? I don't know if you've had to do it yet, coach, but knowing with what you have coming back, not to say the expectation is, all right, we're going to get right back to where we were in the semis, and then we're going to be heading towards the championship game. Because
Right.
obviously there's work to be had. Have you kind of started being like, hey guys, we can't kind of fall in love with last year because this team is different. The league is different. We are different. This is a new year. Have you had to kind of keep their head on a straight and narrow path?
Uh, I'll bring up like, everybody wants to win, and we
Hmm.
got a lot coming back, but winning a championship is not just going to Dunkin' Donuts going, hey, I'll have a coffee regular in one class S state championship. It doesn't work that way. You're gonna have to, work at a high level. But yeah, that's just probably me being nervous bringing that up. But as far as the kids, they're pretty rock solid, man. They show up, they get to practice on time, they work hard, and they go home. I don't really read their body language any different than years past. So,
Mhm. Okay, interesting. I like how you mentioned the Dunkin' Donuts. Now, there's no sugar in that, right?
well, yeah, there is. I take it regular. I take it not anymore, but I used to.
Now, over the course of your years, coach, are you the kind of coach that, because again, when I'm calling a game, a lot of times I'm not watching the head coach because I'm watching the players and trying to get the plays and so on and describe what's going on for the people on the radio who are listening. Um, are you the kind of coach that is fiery? Are you nervous? Are you anxious? I mean, what's it like going into a game and then when you're coaching? Because I know you're doing a lot of signal calling. I know that. I see
Yeah,
that sometimes.
I'm as cool as a cucumber.
No, no, you're not.
No, everybody will just say no, he's full of baloney. No, it's awful. I'm tied in knots and wound tight. I wish I could be cool like everybody else, but no, the problem is for me, when I played, I was a fiery guy. I was a fired up kind of player, and I sometimes there's I forget I'm not playing. I'm just coaching, and you need a different mindset. So
Hmm.
yeah, and yeah, the nerves are awful, and that's why whew, Saturday afternoon naps are the best, man. Just when you put that game away and you take a nap, it's the best. So yeah, but yeah, I'm not Mr. Cool Cucumber, that's for sure.
But I feel like your players would feed off that. And I feel like your team, like a lot of times I've always, and I believe this from when I first started broadcasting, that a team will, they will replicate or copy the coach. So if the coach is calm, they'll be calm to a certain degree, right? But
Right.
coach is fiery, they'll be fiery because they feed off of you. And I feel like that is what kind of, with everything you've done with getting and your staff too, getting them mentally and physically prepared. I think that's why this Woodland team and the program itself has been so competitive. Obviously, they were before too, but you've been able to continue that because you've instilled that to the kids, like to believe. Because the biggest thing, and baseball, as you know, because your sons played, it's 90% mental, 10% physical. And if you
Right.
believe it, I don't know, maybe it's different for football, but I feel like if I believe I could do something and I can go tackle you know what out of a guy, I should be able to do it. And I feel like you instill that into the kids.
Well, I think preparations, we prepare very well. Like the kids take their preparation very, very seriously. As a staff, we work really hard to make sure, no stone is left unturned. So we should feel confident going into a game because we've put the work in. Um, so I believe that gives them reason to have success. I mean, when I was in college, I played for a team that was not very successful, and I knew on game day, I'm like, oof, it's gonna be a rough one for me today because we weren't prepared. So I always took that to heart. Like I will never have players feel that way going into a game. So I think our preparation gives them a lot of confidence, and then just plus just they like football, so they get excited to play, and and we have a lot of kids that are into it, and they kind of feed off themselves too.
That's an awesome way to go about it, Coach. Exactly what you just said. I think that's really, really good for people that need to hear as far as kind of what gets you going, motivates you as far as with the program, and it shows. It does, you know. I want to mention too that there was a play on the 2-point conversion against Ansonia that put you guys ahead at the time. Brunetti, I think, was the one that caught it, the quarterback. Uh,
Right.
how many times did like that? That was a I don't know if you again. I don't know if you listened to the broadcast. I called you a crazy son of a gun because
Yeah.
I thought you were going to kick the extra point, go for the tie, but you were like, "Nah, we're trying to go for at least at the time the win to get come ahead." Was that a
Yeah.
play that was practiced a lot? Like, describe me that play if you can. That was awesome.
Uh, Here's what happened. You want the honest truth? Here's
Yeah.
what happened. It wasn't in until we went against Seymour's JV, and they ran it against us. I was like, oh, we need that, and that's exactly what happened. It was Ian Sadik. I think he was the JV coach, and he ran it against our JV, and I was like, oh, and it was there, but the kid, it was really windy day, and he missed it. I was like, oh man, we gotta get that in. So we just put our own version of it in. They ran it a little bit different, but we did our own version of it. So, but it's definitely because of the Seymour JV game.
So you could thank Seymour for that play.
Absolutely. Our friends across the down Route 8. Yeah.
So Coach Dunnage is watching. He's probably like, "Great,
Yeah. Yeah.
great."
Yeah. That's the truth there. I saw it in the JV game. I'm like, man, we gotta put that in for the playoffs. And
But see, that's the beautiful of high school sports. I mean, Andy Reid, he's like you. He doesn't watch, I mean, obviously the pros he coaches. He doesn't watch college games. He watches high school games. That's where he gets all of his. I mean, it helps when you have a Hall of Fame Patty Mahomes back there who can throw and do all the fancy crap. But
yeah,
it's amazing how the high school game, again, some people may go, "Oh, it's just high school." No, the inner works of high school and the schematics and it's really, really cool.
right. Yeah. No, but you know what though I do I get a lot of I'll surf YouTube and stuff. I mean, I'm not totally shut down from the real world, but that's how but I do find some stuff out there too. I do surf the web and I watch my clinics and stuff. But yeah, as far as like hunkering down on a Sunday to watch the Giants, I don't do that anymore. So
No,
I haven't done that in years. So
you're better off on Sunday instead of watching them. Go on YouTube and go, "What crazy place can I find today?"
yeah. And then go play Block Blast on my phone. No, just
That was
no.
so. When you said, "Wait, are you a Gen Z or Gen X?" When you told me that, I was dying on the phone.
Oh yeah. All right, what am I? I think I'm Gen Z, right?
You're asking the wrong guy, dude. I don't even know what I don't remember what I
I was
ate
born in
yesterday.
the 70s. But then what you're Gen Z.
I was born in '93.
Yeah, what does that mean though? You're
Oh,
Gen X or Gen
I,
Z?
I
I
was.
don't know.
I'm not a boomer. That's all I know.
Okay.
A
Yeah.
boomer is like my parents' ages.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Coach, you're funny. You're a funny
Uh,
guy. Hey,
Hey, Friday night, man.
before I let, yeah, you're right. And there's only a couple more of these Friday nights left before the season
Oh,
starts,
I know.
and then it's
Jeez.
going to be this again.
Oh, wound tight. Oh, I gonna need Pepto. Yeah, it's
Hey,
work.
we'll be seeing you week 1 against East Catholic, so hopefully maybe I can kind of get you to laugh once, maybe one.
Okay. You better get your laughs now, man.
I'll say, I'm not a dad yet. I'll give you a dad joke. Maybe that'll make you laugh.
Oh, I love dad jokes. I'm the
Oh,
king of dad.
perfect. I'll look
Yeah.
one up. I'll look one up.
Okay.
Hey, before I let you go, Coach, really quickly,
Sure.
obviously people in Woodland come out and support the program like crazy. It's awesome. The times we were there, I felt like I was in a state championship game every time I'm at a Woodland game at the Nest. I think that's awesome, right? For people who have not been to a game yet and are planning to go, or we'll see you guys if you're at Woolkit or whatever, Naugatuck, etc. What can people expect when they watch your program this year?
Well, uh, they should be playing fast. They should be playing excited. They should be playing with a lot of confidence. We're not scared to take chances. So stuff like that. Aggressive, very aggressive style football. So that's what they should see. But you're right, Chris. Friday nights at Woodland are they're unbelievable. It's special the way they come up the hill and they enter the field. And we get packed crowds. It's a really big community event. So yeah, man, Woodland's a really special place to play a football game.
No, it's awesome. Oh, I want to make a correction. It's not the nest, it's the woods. Welcome to the woods.
Well, yeah, they call the student section the nest. They call the field the woods. Yeah, or
Okay.
welcome to.
Because I remember the PA announcer, he said, "Welcome to the woods." And I'm
Right.
like, that's legit. I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. So, but hey, coach, this was a lot of fun. I really appreciate you. I could talk to you for long time, long time. But really, I look forward to seeing you week one and for a good amount this season, coach. Should be fun.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thanks, Chris. This was a lot of fun, man. You're a great guy. Really appreciate what
Appreciate
you do for high school football. Really do.
appreciate that. That'll wrap things up here in the CT Sports Talent Show. Next time, stay safe. Remember, CT stands for Connecticut Talent. Join and find them all. Do this your day, everybody, and be well.